everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm going to be making this quick video. Hopefully it's quick. Sorry, I'm just doing this video because a lot of people keep asking me for it and about it, and I really don't have time to be making it. So right now it's like I have time. I'm going to make it real fast. I'm sorry for lighting, sound, whatever it is. Like, this is like reality right now. It's not like just a video for fun. So a lot of people keep asking me on social media, where is Eric? Where's my husband? A lot of different comments because I haven't posted anything. Most of you guys know what happened when he got released. Some of you guys don't know what happened. And a lot of you guys that don't know what happened. Actually, no, let me take that back. Not everyone. Not a lot of you guys. Like 2% of you guys that don't know what happened like to make stupid ass comments. Okay, there might be a lot of cussing in this video, so if you don't like cussing, I suggest you exit the fuck out, because this is my story and I'm just gonna be real as fuck. I don't really give a shit about anything or regulations or whatever. Sorry YouTube, sorry, not sorry. Like, these are my feelings and how I feel, and I feel like I have to get this off my chest. You know, I saw comments like, oh, Eric left her, or they're not together no more, or things like that. Or, you know, I also got comments like, why are you sharing your quote, why are you gonna put stupid numbers on your face if you're not gonna share with your followers? And I ain't gonna lie, I went off on this person. I called her a stupid bitch like twice, and I said a lot of stuff, but you know what, I don't regret it, because I'm like, fuck you. Like, you come to whatever. And you know, other people, I had one comment about like last night, today in the morning, of don't be a bitch about people asking me, I guess, about Eric. And I was like, how am I being a bitch because I'm not telling you exactly where he's at? Like, what are you gonna do? Send him money? Pick him up? What are you gonna do? I'm sorry, for those of you that you guys keep asking me about him, there has to be a reason why you're asking. I know you want to know, but at the same time, if I'm not sharing, that means that there's something going on, you know what I'm saying? So I would say be respectful and mindful of people before you start talking shit. Let's just fucking get into it. So April 20th, you guys, that was Sunday. Couldn't fucking sleep. I went live. Crazy as hell. I had talked to my husband earlier that day, or like later that day, and he was like, oh, excited, like, what are we gonna do tomorrow? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know, we'll just see, you know. And I packed all our stuff. Like, it was super exciting. Like, oh my god, I was texting his mom, you know, like, he's gonna get out at this time, I'm just gonna leave at this time, and da 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 da, you know. It was just like all that kind of stuff, like prepping, putting stuff in my car, excited, right? So whatever, couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all. I took some my melatonin, girl, not fun. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't close my eyes. Literally, if I closed my eyes, open them back up. Like, I couldn't keep them closed. Woke up like around 3 in the morning, took a shower, got dressed, I made coffee. No lie, you guys, the coffee I made is, I know it's pretty gross, but it's still sitting right there. And I'm like, is there something mentally attached to that stupid ass? Oh my god. I just started this video. I haven't even said anything. Okay. I haven't even said anything yet, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, no. We're gonna do this shit right. We're gonna do this shit right. We're going to the store. We ain't gonna feel some type of way, nothing. Okay, so, it was a really good day, really good morning. I'm driving, you know, I'm like taking my time. Get on the freeway, I'm driving, you know, whatever. I end up getting there. There's not yelling. End up getting to this area, like where the last gas station is, before the prison, I guess, whatever you want to call it. So I pulled over, and then I went live. Some of you guys did watch it, and some of you guys didn't. A lot of people did watch it, and I was talking to everybody like, hey, like, I'm early, I'm excited, oh my god, tripping. Now there was this one guy walking around with his fucking coffee in his hand, like, what the fuck is going on? So whatever, right? And so people are like, oh, stay live, like, go, we want to see a reaction, blah blah. And I was like, okay, I'll be live until this, and then, whatever. Fucking, there's a bug in here. So I stay live, right? I'm like driving and I'm like getting nervous. So whatever. The point is, I was live. Everybody was hearing everything. I'm driving, whatever. I wasn't like reading comments and stuff. I was just driving and it was live. Like literally, it was just right there on my phone. So I'm driving. I get to the fucking prison. I'm about to throw up. I'm about to die because I was like nauseous. And it's funny because if you guys watched that live, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes before I got to the prison, I said something about when you think everything is perfect, something always goes wrong. And when you think, because I was talking about how sometimes in my mind I'm always thinking like, oh my god, something bad's gonna happen, something's bad, and then nothing bad ever happens. This time, not one fucking thing that I think bad was gonna happen, other than I'm about to throw the fuck up. So then I remembered, I'm like, oh shit, like what if something bad, and then I'm talking about it and whatever. So I'm like, everything's good, it's gonna be okay. I get there and there's like 3 officers, there's 3 fucking COs, and I said, hey, I'm here to pick up somebody, and they're like, okay. And I was like, yes, they're supposed to get out today. They're like, oh, okay. So they're like, oh, who are you gonna pick up? I'm gonna call to see if they're here. And I was like, well, why the fuck wouldn't he be here, right? So they call, he gets off the phone, he's like, hold on, I'm gonna call somebody else. He calls somebody else. Then he gets off and he was like, he's gonna get picked up by ICE. And I was like, what? And at that moment, I think I went into like a, bitch, you got me fucked up. But like, I was like, in my mind, I was like, what the fuck? And so then he's like, do you want me to double check? I was like, yes, double check. So he calls somebody else. He gets off the phone. He's like, yes, ICE is going to pick him up. They're on their way to pick him up. And I was like, okay. I did a fucking U-turn. I got my phone. And my live was going to end. And then I said something like, like, I have to go figure this out. Blah, 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 blah. And then that's where it ended, okay? And then I never posted it after that. So after that, that's where everything got super fucking crazy, and that's not even a half of what actually fucking happened. Like, it was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I drove off, I got to the light, I turned, I parked on the side, because a part of me was like, what the fuck? Okay, Carla, like, what the fuck do I do? I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I was in shock. Like, I was so in shock that I couldn't even fucking cry. Okay. And I'm not even about to start fucking crying. So, I sat there and I was like, what the fuck do I do? Like, there was nothing in my mind. Like, I couldn't even think. And I was just like, the only thing that I could think of is like, I can't just fucking drive off. Like, I can't just fucking drive off. Like, I can't. So what I did is I texted somebody and I'm like, girl, I was like, girl, INS is picking him up. And I remember doing that. Then, I don't know, in my mind, instantly I thought about the one person. And I was like, oh my god, let me message her. Oh my god, this is how like nervous because my mouth feels so dry right now. I was like, I'm just gonna call her Conchita because that's what I know her by, okay? So, I texted her and I don't even know what I said to her. I don't even remember. But she's like, call me. And I was like, okay. So I call her and I explained to her what happened. And I didn't fucking know. I didn't know what to do. And she's like, did you talk to a sergeant? And I was like, no. She's like, girl, why didn't you? And I was like, I don't know. Because I couldn't think at the moment. I was just like, okay, bye. I just left. She's like, no, you need to go back and you need to go talk to somebody. So, girl, that's fuck. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Carla, get it together. Get it together. Like, get it together. So, I fucking call, okay? I fucking call. I talk to the PIO. That's who the fuck I talked to. He answered and I was like, hey, my husband's supposed to get released. I need to know, like, what is the process? They're telling me that INS is going to pick him up. So what is, like, what does that look like? What is the process? He was like, well, I don't really know the process. I just know they're going to pick him up. And he asked me for his information. He's like, oh yeah, ICE is going to pick him up. And so he's like, I don't know. They just pick them up and they take them somewhere. I don't know where. And I was like, okay, so then what should I do? He's like, well, you know, he's about to get released like in about 10 minutes. So when that happens, you know, they'll pick him up and this and that. And I was like, okay, so you're going to release him in 10 minutes. If INS, because I knew they were not there. I was like, so if they're not there, I can pick him up. And he was like, yeah, because we're releasing him. And I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, can I get your phone number? I'm going to call you back. And I was like, okay. So I gave him my phone number. Maybe not even 5 minutes later, he calls me back. He's like, actually, ICE is already here. They're picking them up. And yeah, and I was like, so they're here. Mind you, I was like 5 minutes away from the prison. And they have to pass by me to fucking get there. And I was like, okay, but if they're not there, I can take him. Oh, but they're on their way already, da-da-da. And I was like, okay. So here I take my ass again. I drive back to the prison and I tell the guard in the front, I was like, hey, I just talked to somebody. They're telling me that if in about, you guys are gonna release him in about like what, 5 minutes from now. That if they're not here, I can take him. And he was like, who did you talk to? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, it was a sergeant, you know. And they're like, you know, trying to figure out who the fuck it was. I was like, I don't fucking remember his name. And so then he was like, okay, hold on, park over there. And I was like, all right. So I parked and I was like, oh my God, girl. And then so Conchita's on the phone with me and she was like, no, just wait, hopefully, you know, whatever. So he comes back and he's like, hey, no, ICE is gonna pick him up. And I was like, so they're not here? And he was like, no, they're not here. And I was like, so you just fucking lied to me, PIO. Anyways, I was kind of like, I was really mad because I was like, motherfucker, you just really lied to me, fucking asshole. Anyways, and so then what happened? And so then he was like, hey, they're gonna hold in here until 12 a.m. and if they don't pick him up by that time, we will release him. And I was like, okay. So I'm trying to get my way, you know, like, okay, so if he's still here at 12 a.m., I can drive up here at 12 a.m. and pick him up. And he was like, no, you have to wait until tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right. So I was like, okay, I tried my best. So I drive off and I'm still talking to Conchita. And then she was like, you know, let's start the process. You want to start the process, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes. Like, I have to do this because it's like, you know, I need to do, you know, but I'm just like shook and like my adrenaline, yes, it's like just crazy. My heart is beating, like, it was just like, I don't even know, it's crazy. So then I parked, like I moved, like I drove a little bit. I parked on the side by the prison. It was about, I left about 9:30, you guys. I got to the prison at 7 a.m. I didn't leave until like 9:30. Bitches wouldn't even let me in, but whatever. I was parked outside. So I was like, if they drive by here, I'm gonna see their asses, right? So okay, we're like looking for him in the system, nothing. Looking for Eric in the system, nothing. 9:30 comes around, nothing. So she's like, oh, I think, you know, like it's in the clear, pretty sure he's gonna be fine. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I drove off. I went to go get something to eat because I was starving. I was talking to the person I had texted. Then all of a sudden she's like, oh, does he know? And I was like, I don't know. So I was like, fuck, okay, let me call the prison and see if like somebody told him. So because the officer in the front gave me the what is it, R&R phone number, lady, I don't know. So I called her. She was nice enough to, you know, answer me. And I was like, hey, I just want to know if somebody told. At first she was kind of rude. I was like, I just want to know, like, my husband, blah, 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 you know, told her the situation. Obviously she had to know. And I was like, I just want to know if somebody told him so he knows what's going on. And she was like, yeah, like he knows what happened. And I was like, okay, because I don't want him acting crazy because he don't know what's going on. And then she was like, oh no, like I spoke to him, I explained it to him, he understands, like, you know, I actually just got off the phone with INS, with ICE, whatever you want to call their fucking dumbasses. Let's just call them dumbasses. How about that? And they're on their way. They're like 15 minutes away. And I was like, even when she told me that, I didn't even believe it because they had already lied to me so many other fucking times. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, all right, thank you. And then hung up or whatever. And I drove home, whatever. I get home, just like still like, okay, like everything's cool. You know, like it's going to be fine, Carla. He's going to get out tomorrow. It's going to be fine. So I get home, maybe not even 30 minutes later, maybe like 15-20 minutes. I don't have no idea. Because I was explaining to my brother like what happened, because he was like, where's Eric? And I was like, you know, this and this and that. All of a sudden I look at my phone and they're calling me from a 209-00000 fucking phone number. And I was like either the prison let him talk or somebody picked his ass up. So I answer. Oh, okay, we're going through this shit without like busting a tear. I answered and it was him. I'm gonna try to explain fast so that way I don't have time to like think, okay? It's good, Carla, you're good. So I answered and he was like, hey babe. He was like, hey babe. And I was like, hey, where are you? And he was like, I'm in Stockton. They picked me up. I'm in Stockton. I'm okay. And I was like, what the fuck? Bitch, I was just there. Like, where the fuck? I was like, so these fuckers must have they were probably right behind me because I stopped to buy food and I waited there a little bit because I had called the prison and everything. So I'm like, they were behind me because the timing was just right. Like, and not whatever. So he was like, I'm fine. I'm okay. They're letting me use the phone. I was like, okay. So, and I'm still like in shock. I was fine. I was just keeping it calm because I needed to be calm. And I was like, okay, well, what are they telling you? What are they telling you? And he was like, well, you know, they're giving me two options. But I'm gonna find out right now. I'm gonna call you right back, okay? But I'm okay. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So we hang up and I was like, what the fuck? He calls back like 5 minutes later and he was like, hey, or maybe 10, I don't know. He was like, hey, they're giving me two options and they're telling me that, and at this point, like my mom is telling me something and then my brother's telling me something and my mom's like, tell him not to sign nothing. And I was like, and so I went outside and then he was like, they're telling me that either I can leave today and they will take me to Mexico or I sit here and I wait to talk to somebody. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he was like, I don't want to sit here. Oh, God. And I heard it in his fucking voice. And I was like, okay. Well, what do you want to do? And, you know, at this point, like, you can't You can't tell somebody what to do in a situation like this. Because it's like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, he sits there in another fucking cage, or he is literally a free person as soon as, like, as soon as he is taken back. And so then I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, then do it. And he was like, okay, because I don't want to sit here. I don't want to wait any longer. And I just don't. And I was like, okay. He's like, babe, remember, like, my case, my charges and stuff, they're not going to let me stay here. And so I was like, okay, well, oh God, whatever you want to do. Oh God, girl. Okay. And he was like, okay. And and then he says, so then he says, so you with me? And I was like, yes. So after that, I was like, okay, all right. So then, so what, like, what's gonna happen? What are we doing? What? I'm like, ask him. And the guy, I guess, the ice fucking guy was right there. And they were like, he was asking them a question. So it was nice at least that they were answering the fucking questions when he was asking them while I was on the phone. And they were just like, we'll put you on a bus today and you'll be over there tomorrow or today or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then they were nice enough to also be like, she can bring you something. Does she live? And he was like, no, she lives in Tracy. And they were like, okay, she can bring you something before 2 o'clock. And so then he was like, they said you can bring me something, like a bag with stuff. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then I was like, fuck. So we hung up. Okay, he gave me the address. I couldn't even find a fucking pen, you guys. Like, I had to use an expo marker and write it on my little board on the fridge. I was like, okay. So we hung up, and it was like 11:30. It was 11:30, and I ran to get a backpack because I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to send like something big. I need a like a backpack to just put stuff, because he was like, don't put so much stuff in there. And I was like, okay. So I grabbed the backpack. I don't even have a backpack. I was like, I don't fucking have a backpack. So my brother's like, you want a backpack? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. So I found a backpack, but then he was like, oh no, use the backpack. And I was like, okay. He was like, oh wait, his girl had like a duffel bag she was gonna throw away, a purple one. And they're like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. So then he gave it to me. I don't even know what I threw in there, because like some of the clothes some of the clothes that I had for him were like in drawers, like different drawers, and like in my car. And I like start unpacking this little luggage I have, and I start throwing some clothes in there. Luckily the night before I had packed some of the stuff in case like we went somewhere. So I put everything in there. I put like some money in there. He's like, don't put a lot of money, just put some money. I was like, okay. So I put some money. It's like $100 something, like $110. And I was like, I don't even know how much. So I just put that much. And I put in clothes. And that's it. Clothes and his like shampoo, toothpaste, all that kind of stuff was in that other bag. And I was like, okay. So he was like, you, and so I was like, because, look at me all over the place now. He asked them if he can have a cell phone, and they were like, yeah, like whatever she wants to put in there, she can bring you. So remember, I didn't get Eric's phone. So what I did is I literally took mine and I charged it and I put it in the bag. And I told him, I was like, no, I'm giving you my cell phone. I'm going to give you my cell phone. So that's it. And so then I charged it. I threw in a wall charger in there. I threw in my fucking Beats headphones in there. I threw in like a little portable charger thing. I threw that in there. And the phone. And so then I get to the place. Guys, I don't even know how I got to the place. I was a fucking mess. I couldn't think. I don't know how I got there. I really don't remember how I got there. But when I got to the exit, I was talking to the same person I had texted earlier. And I'm like explaining to her. And I'm like bawling, okay? Like I have never cried like that. I mean, I have when I was like younger and stuff. So I get to the place. And I'm like sitting in my car. She's like, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna find out some information. Because they were like, you know, the borders are supposed to be closed. Maybe they quarantine him. Maybe they won't let him in. And I was like, okay. So, we hang up. And I'm sitting in my car just like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't stop crying. The feeling that you feel, I can't even explain it. Other than like when you lose something that you fucking love. And it's not even that much because he's still here. He's still healthy, he's still good. But how do I explain this? It was just like I'm trying to think and say it without like fucking crying. It was just like somebody taking something away from you, like somebody taking half of yourself away from you. That's what it felt like. So I finally get there after she calls me back and she tells me this, and I was like, okay. So I get out of the car, I put like those headphones and the charger in there, like I'm just like throwing stuff in there, and I'm on my phone. I go and ring the doorbell that they told me to go ring, and I'm like fucking crying, shaking, and I was like, what the fuck? Relax, Carla, like relax. I'm like talking to myself out loud to relax. And then some lady comes on and she's like, hi. And I was like, I'm here to drop something off. And she was like, okay, somebody's gonna come out. And I was like, all right. Some security guy comes out and he was like, ma'am. And I was like, I can't even fucking talk to you, sir. Like I can't even talk right now. And so then he was like, oh, what's in the bag? And I was like, bitch, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't even know what's in the fucking bag. So I'm like shaking, and I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm being like suspicious. Because, you know, in my mind, I'm always thinking people think I look suspicious. I don't know why. And I'm like shaking, and I'm like trying to open the bag and like trying to close it. And I'm like, girl, I have to go. And I hung up, and then I'm trying to like open it up and like show him and ask him. I put in some fucking pistachios, and he was like, you can't put food in there. And I was like, okay. So I took it out. I put some vitamins in there. They were like, no, he can't have that either. And I was like, okay. So I'm like taking stuff out, and then I took those things out. Everything else, he's like, it's fine. Did you put money in there? And I was like, yes. He's like, I need you to count it. Girl, I couldn't fucking count. I was like 20. It was like, I can't fucking count. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I don't know if you counted it right. I was like, I don't know. I was like, here. And so he counted it. Sorry, it's my dog. And he counted it, and he was like, all right. I was like, can I put my phone? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, hold on. I was trying to take off the password so he can use it without like password. And I could not take it off. I pressed hella buttons. I don't even know what the fuck I pressed on my phone, but I took off some things. I don't know what the fuck they were, but in my mind, I thought I took it off. Some security shit. So I don't even know. My phone could be just like fucking chilling right now, and there's like shit that shouldn't be out there. I don't even know. So I was like, hey, I can't unlock it. Like, do you think I can like write it down on a piece of paper and like put it on here? He was like, yes. And I was like, okay. So I went to my car. I dropped off those things, and I'm like still shaking. He's like, hey, do you have an ID? And I was like, yes. And so then I went to go get I got a piece of paper from an envelope. I wrote it down, and I had tape in my car. I don't fucking know why. I put tape behind my phone, and I grabbed my ID, so I put the phone in the bag and I gave him my ID and I was like, is he gonna have this bag or is it gonna be somewhere else? Because I'm putting my phone in here. I just want to know like how safe it's gonna be. He's like, oh no, he's gonna have his bag, and you know, that's it. And I was like, well, can I see? Oh God, okay. I was like, well, can I see him? And they were like, no. Well, not they. He was like, no, you can't. Because of the virus. He's like, so you can't. And I was like, okay. So that even made it worse. That made it worse. And I was like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? And so he's like, all right, I'll be back. And I was like, all right. So I'm standing there crying like a little fucking girl with my sunglasses because I didn't want people to see me. So I'm standing there. He took forever, you guys. It was probably like 5 minutes, but it felt like an hour. And when he came out, he was like, okay, here you go. I gave him everything, you know, he signed off on it. He has it. Why? Okay. He was like, you know, he signed off on it. And I was like, all right. And he was like, oh God. He was like, he said, oh God. I'm trying not to fucking cry, you guys. So he was like, he said not to worry. So obviously that was like, okay. Like I was like, all right, thank you. And so then I got in my car. I had no phone. So anyways, when I put it in his bag, I turned it off. And then I put it in his bag. I drove off. And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get home? I don't have a fucking phone. I don't even know where the fuck I'm at right now. I did pay attention, but I didn't pay attention to where the fuck I was driving. So luckily the freeway was like right there. And then it was in a ghetto ass area in Stockton. I was like, girl, what the fuck? So I got it. I got out. I got on the freeway and I drove home. I'm even like a crybaby, you guys. I mean, I am, but I'm not. So this is really hard for me to like share because it's like the way that I see, like, you know, it's just like I don't let people see my vulnerable side. I guess that's how you say it. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't do that. I don't need people to know like, oh, Carla's fucking sad or Carla's crying. Like, no, I don't like that. I don't. That's why you guys always see me like making videos and like happy because, you know, so this is hard for me because I feel like I'm gonna get judged for crying and I'm like, I'm not trying to cry. Like, I don't want to. But, so anyways, get home. like, I don't even know what I got home. Oh, I missed something. Sorry, guys. Let me go back to when I I packed the bag. I put it in my car. I forgot to tell you guys this. I put it in my car. I put the bag in my car. When I was putting the bag in my car, Eric called. And at that moment, like hearing him like talking like, no, I spit. Hearing him talk like, oh, are you coming? And I was like, yes. He's, oh God. He was like, everything's gonna be okay. He's like, everything's gonna be okay. Like, don't worry about it. When he said that shit, that's when I finally like broke down. And I didn't want him to hear me. Get it together. I didn't want him to hear me because, like, I didn't want him to think about that, you know? And as soon as, like, I lost it, he was like, don't cry. He was like, don't cry. Everything's gonna be fine. I will be free and everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm putting my phone in the bag. And so then I started just like busting out. But I didn't want him to hear me. I already said that shit. And so then whatever. So he was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like everything's gonna be fine. And I was like, you know what? I'm crying, but it's because this is too much for me right now. Like, it's too much for one day. Like, I wasn't trying to, but my body and my mind was just like, this is too much for you. Like, you need to just fucking. It wasn't even because it was just like a different type. It was like uncontrollable. And so once I lost it, then I couldn't bring it back. I lost it. Then I drove off. And then all that other stuff happened. But when I got home, I came upstairs, I grabbed some clothes, I took off my sunglasses, I went to take a shower. I took a shower, I got out of the shower, and I came straight to my room, I closed my door, and my mom comes in with my niece, and she was like, it's okay, Carla. And I was like, oh my God, just leave me alone. Like, I was like, I know everything's gonna be fine. It's just a lot for me right now. Like, it's a lot. It's like, it's too much for me. And like, I can take a lot, okay? But it was a little too much for me. And I was like, I know, I understand it's gonna be okay. Everything happens for a reason. I just, not right now. Like, I just can't. And so she was like, okay, just like, just for, lay down and rest or whatever. I couldn't fucking sleep. And then I heard my brother, where's Carla? My brother comes in and he was like, are you okay? Okay, sorry, I keep moving because I'm like trying to distract myself from like thinking. Because once I like think of it, it's like it puts me back at that same spot. Okay, but I'm fine, you guys. I really am. It's just like going back to that day. It's still like fresh. I look so ugly crying. Oh God. It's just like fresh for me still. And I can actually talk about it now because I couldn't. But I was laying down and he's like, how are you? And I was like, how are you doing or whatever? And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I know. It's too much for me. And I kept telling everybody, like, it's just too much for me right now. And I couldn't sleep. I was tracking my phone on my computer, trying to see when my phone turned on. I was like, he can't even call me because I don't have a phone. And I took some melatonin vitamin to go to sleep. I fell asleep for maybe like 2 hours because I was laying on my bed, and then all of a sudden I passed out. So I slept for like 2 hours. I woke up, like my face was like swollen. My eyes were like swollen. I couldn't even see. Like my face was just super swollen. And I got up and I texted his sister, and I was like, you know, like just I told her and everything, and I was like, I don't know how to tell his mom. I did tell his dad, and I was like, I don't want to tell his mom because that's just like, I don't want to do that. Like that's really really hard. And so then I got up, and I don't even guys, I don't even know what happened, but I know I got up and I did something, but I don't remember what it was. But I remember charging my computer and just having my computer set up so any moment that my phone would appear, I would know that he's okay. So I'm like, okay, he's on the bus right now. Like, he's fine. Like, he's still not there tonight. I was like, hopefully, guys, the worry that I had was that they would drop him off at nighttime. And I was like, please don't drop him off at nighttime. Like, you're fucking bitches, but please don't drop him off at nighttime. So they didn't. He spent the night in like Bakersfield or Fresno or something. He said he went to Fresno and then he went to Bakersfield. Um, the next day, which was what, Wednesday? The next day, still nothing. Nothing. And I'm like, where the fuck are you? Like, what the fuck happened? And I'm thinking the worst. Like, did they rob him? Did they not give him his bag? Was he like, fuck you, I don't want the bag? Like, what happened? Then later on that day, no, it was like a little bit later, his sister texted me, hey, Eric called me. He says he's on his way, that he's fine, and you know, like he'll be over there like you know, like lunchtime, like 1 o'clock. I don't know what the fuck she said. Something like that. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, alright, he's okay. So then, you know, it was like 12 and then like 1, and I was like, where the fuck are you? It was 2, yeah, like 2. And so then I'm like, you know what? So I told his mom. And then I was like, okay, let me go over there. So I drove to Oakland. I was over there and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? It's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. Like, where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he? His sister came and we were just like right there. All of a sudden, her phone rings and she was like, he's calling FaceTime. But he hung up. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, he's calling. And I was like, who? She's like, Eric's calling. And I was like, because I looked at her phone and it said Cunhas because that's what I have her under. But I didn't process it. It took me a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, what? And so then we call him and he was like, call him. And I was like, oh my God, like, where are you? Where the fuck are you? Because he called and he was like, I'm getting some information and stuff like that. And he was like, I'm going to call you back. And that's what he told his sister. And she was like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, he got there. So that's good. We waited a little bit longer. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it's like 5 o'clock. Where the fuck is he? It's going to get dark soon. Like, I'm just like tripping out. Because I've never been to fucking, I was going to say Texas. To Tijuana. And I was like, I have no idea. So I'm thinking it's like 10 o'clock over there. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. And he finally called like at 5:30. He was like, hello. And I was like, where are you? Where are you? Like, what the fuck? Where are you? I called this hotel to, you know, like to see where are you right now? And he was like, babe, don't worry. I'm in a hotel. And I was like, what? And I wanted to cry so bad, you guys. But I didn't. I was really proud of myself. He was like, and I was like, you got it by yourself? And he was like, yeah, I took a taxi and I came over and I was like, oh my God, like, okay. Like, at least now I don't have to worry that you're gonna sleep on the street somewhere. So I was like, okay. So I felt so much better knowing that he was somewhere like safe. And he was like, yeah, you know, it was a scary. He's like, I ain't gonna lie, it was scary as shit. And I was like, well, of course, because it's a whole new place. You're getting out of prison. You have no idea what the fuck you're doing. And I was like, okay, but right now, I was like, you're somewhere safe. That's all that matters, you know, whatever. So he talked to his family. We talked when I was on my way back home. Then the phone turned off. I was supposed to call him back because he was going to call me back. I don't remember. The phone turned off. And I was like, did this motherfucker turn off the phone? Or did it die because he was like, I need to charge it? And guys, remember, he doesn't know how to use a fucking cell phone. So he has a fucking iPhone that he has no idea how the fuck to use, okay? So it was like, what time was it? Like 7:30. The phone was off from like 7:30 to the next freaking day at like around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., sorry. And I was freaking out because the phone was turned off. There was my find my phone, couldn't find him. And I was like, oh my God. At first I was like, oh my God, he better not go out party. And then I was like, huh, maybe he fell asleep. And then I was like, wait a minute. Okay, Carla, he fell asleep. It's okay, go to sleep. So I fell asleep, woke up in the morning, still nothing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Somebody went in his room and kidnapped him or did something to him. What if he's just laying in his room and nobody's see? Like, I was thinking the worst shit ever, okay? Like the worst shit ever. And then he finally called me and I was like, oh my God. I was like, where were you? And he was like, I fell asleep. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, like I don't even care. Like I just wanted to make sure that you're okay. I was like, don't turn it off. Like, don't turn off your phone. And he was like, okay. And I was like, don't turn it off, okay? Just put it on silent. Don't turn it off. And then he was like, your phone kept going off. And I was like, well, erase the apps. Like, he took off, like, Instagram app. Like, he turned off everything. So, yeah. And that's what happened. Like, this all happened, what, like, Wednesday? That was the last day. And he's been over there ever since. He's still staying at the same spot. He has been walking around and stuff. My fucking dog, sorry. And he's doing really good. He's like, it's ghetto. He's like, but in the daytime is nice. Like, I can walk around, just not at nighttime. And I was like, okay, well, don't fucking go out at nighttime. What the fuck? So right now we're just trying to find like an apartment. So we've been looking a lot of, I went live on my Instagram and a lot of followers have been like helping with like, you know, just the support has been amazing. I am very, very thankful for that. It has been like super good and we really appreciate it. I know even my when I was on the live, everybody wanted me to make a Cash App, which I did, but it's just sitting there. And that's actually going to help us a lot with like, for Eric. I will be going out there real soon once we get settled down and we find a place that has like a driveway or somewhere to put a car in. So I can drive out there and my car is safe. Yeah, so we're doing really, really good. I know people are asking if we're just still together. Yes, we're still together. Yes, we talk every day. We FaceTime. Jesus Christ. And he's doing really, really good. I'm really, really proud of him. He has been doing everything by himself, you know, and it's just, I know, I understand there's like coronavirus and everything, but yeah, like he has done everything himself. He actually today went out looking for apartments. So yeah, like I'm very proud of him. He's been really active. He's been walking around a lot. You know, he's been going to the stores. So yeah, right now we're just working on that and we're working on trying to get him an ID. So we're able to figure that out and be able to like, you know, send him money and stuff. But I don't think that's going to be anytime soon with the ID thing because I heard it takes a while. So that's gonna, you know, I'm gonna have to get myself out there before that happens. So you know, so he's safe and he has money. So I will be going out there real soon, you guys. I will be documenting that situation when I go out there. So yeah, wish me fucking luck because I had never been out there to TJ ever. I've been to Tecate once. But I've never been out there. So yeah, I think we found somewhere. I think we did. Um, so pray for us. I think. Plus this is in like an actual apartment, kitchen and everything. So I'm praying and hoping this would be it. But I told him like keep looking. I will keep looking. I reach out to a bunch of different places, so I'm just kind of waiting. And then some of them are just kind of like, I don't know, that looks a little sketchy. So we were like really looking, taking our time, but we don't have that much time. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're still married. We're still together. Uh, what else? I just haven't posted anything because obviously we can't take a picture together. Unless, I mean, I do have like a couple like screenshots of FaceTiming, but they're not like the best. But we will probably post one soon. Um, and yeah, probably I don't know, anytime soon because I did want to get this video out there first before I posted anything. Because I know people have a lot of questions and stuff, but this I think answers everything for that. So yes, but anyways, another thing, you guys, if you're in the same situation where your loved one, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, your wife is getting out of prison and they have a hold on them, don't wait until last fucking minute like I did. Shit. The reason why I waited so long is because I did talk to somebody years ago. I spoke to a lawyer and they told me I couldn't do anything because he was property of the state. So I couldn't do anything until he was finished there. But what I found out was that that's not true and that I could have done something. I didn't do anything because of that stupid fucking lady. I wish I knew her name so I could fucking blast her ass out. Not like blast her ass out, but like, you know, say her name. I don't remember her name though. Or what company she works for, I can't remember. But like I said, right now we're just working on, we are working on a process. We're working with Conchita, and I'm actually going to put her information down below. So if you have any questions regarding immigration or divorce, she does a lot of stuff, y'all. So any information regarding any of that, like hit her up. Like I said, her information is going to be on the description box. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And go and ask her. Maybe you have like a simple question or a really hard question, and she can help you guys out. So I really recommend her. So don't wait like me, and don't be in the same situation, because trust and believe, I would never wish this situation on anybody. On anybody. Like even the person I hate the most. I don't even hate somebody like that. But anybody I hate the most, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy or anybody. Like I would never. Another thing real fast, before I go, just support each other. I was gonna say something else, but I really don't want to talk about it. Stupid. But support each other. Remember to be mindful of other people. And please don't say stupid shit to me, because I'm really gonna say something back, or maybe not. I'm just gonna start blocking people, because I shouldn't have to like get ratchet with people, because I don't have time for that. Not because I'm old now. So I'm just gonna start blocking people on here. If you come and say something stupid here, I'm blocking your stupid ass. I don't give a fuck. And yeah, sorry, not sorry. I'm blocking your ass, and I'm blocking everybody that is being negative in any type of my social media pages, because I ain't got time for it. I got real problems to deal with, and I really don't have time to be dealing with stupid people saying stupid shit to me. So yeah. And karma's a bitch. So if you want to be a bitch to me, you are gonna get karma. So whatever. But yeah, you guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm okay with answering questions, because I know there's people that are probably going through this, or that might be going through this, or like what the fuck. Or you just need somebody to talk to, because you're like, I don't know who to talk to. I feel some type of way. Like, reach out to me, because this is like, this will break people. Like, I don't even know, like prison and immigration. It's just crazy to me. Prison and immigration are two topics that are fucking horrible. So reach out to me if you have any questions, or you just want to talk. Yeah, you know, I don't know, whatever you guys want to, reach out. I want to say thank you so much for liking and subscribing, because I already know you did that. We really appreciate it. I think more than ever now, we would really love to people to share our videos, subscribe and share it. We need all the subscribers that we can get, like all of them. We're in a whole different chapter in our lives, so it's gonna be different, but we're working through it, and we will be together soon, and we will for sure be having a YouTube video for you guys as Carla and Eric. He will be not here, but here, like next to me, but not in this area, obviously. So thank you so much for your support, and I apologize for my emotional last self. I can't see, like, I just need to be like all over the place because I can't be sad. Like, I don't like it. So thank you to everyone that sent donations, gift cards. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you so much. Eric appreciates it so much too. And like, subscribe, share with your friends, and yeah, you guys, let's get a bunch of subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you. And empower somebody, inspire somebody, and just be nice to everyone else. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.